Hey, what is going on, dudes? My name is Tezza, and I am not alone today. I am here with MVP Sports Gaming. Go ahead and say hi, dude.
Hey guys.
Anyway, we are here today, and we are going to be doing our second half of the season predictions video. I know it's a little late, but hey ho, things happen. And we're going to go ahead now and talk about. We've got a nice little list of things to talk about: World Series predictions, MVP, Cy Young. So yeah, we hope you look forward to this. And I
You
think
know
I'll
the,
let you
the
go ahead
speed
and take it, Mike, for the first topic, which we do have, and that is the
the
wild card
speed
race. Oh no,
the
sorry.
speed yeah, the speed we move at doing stuff, we might as well just call it September predictions.
Yeah, this is
Um
literally playoff predictions already.
pretty much. This will be uploaded in the off season.
Yeah, more than likely.
Alright. So I figure we'll just go with the division winners, what we think will happen down the stretch, and then we'll go through wild card, all that fun stuff, and see how long it takes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, AL East wise, right now, just to give everyone an update, when we're recording this, Boston's in first by 1 game ahead of Tampa. Orioles are 5.5, Yankees 7.5 back, and no one cares about the Blue Jays. So, what do you think is going to occur in September? Who's going to be the end up winning this thing?
I think the way it's going at the moment, the Red Sox look pretty solid. If they stay fairly injury free, I can see them doing it. Tampa just seem to be, really pulling it back each time. Boston takes a little lead and then they just start to slack a little bit. And before you know it, Tampa's back up there. So you can't count Tampa out of this. But I'm going to go ahead and say Red Sox.
All right, good. I like that. If anyone doesn't know, I'm a Red Sox fan. I think before the season's end, we're going to see the leader of this division change a lot. And I think it could be either Boston, Tampa, or Baltimore. I don't really believe in the Yankees at this point. And not just being biased, but I think when you look at the whole core, depth being a big part, I think Boston's going to be able to pull it out by a game, maybe even half a game. It's
Yeah,
going to be very close stuff.
yeah, definitely. They've made some good changes this season. Getting rid of Valentine for being the main one. So after a poor season last season, I think it's good. Red Sox fans kind of deserve this little break. And they've gone ahead and they've not actually made too many huge changes to the team. So you just makes you think that it was Valentine.
It was Valentine. A lot of people are saying he was a scapegoat, but nah, he was the chemistry in that clubhouse last year. That was hard to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
You also brought in players that actually want to win. Usually helps.
Yeah, exactly. Gomes is probably my favorite acquisition of the Red Sox.
Definitely.
So we both agree on Boston for the AL East. AL Central, what are you thinking for that one?
Despite the obvious of Detroit, the only issue I have with Kansas City, they played great after the All Star break, but every hot streak ends with a cold streak in my mind. And I think Kansas City it'd be a great story, but I don't think they're going to be there. Cleveland would be nice, but I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go with the powerhouse. Detroit's just too good.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be Detroit. The thing is, a friend of mine who actually got me into baseball in the first place is a Cleveland fan, and he's been so excited for this season. Francona coming in, and he's been so excited, and they did do so well to begin with, and it's a shame to see that they've slipped. But many baseball players say that you'd rather go in to the playoffs as the hot team rather than the actual
Yeah,
favourites. So Detroit are the favourites, but you never know. Cleveland got on a hot streak. What are these 6 games behind? That injuries
six games.
come in, and Detroit could slip up.
I think the X factor is if Jimenez, I think that's his name for Cleveland. I forget.
Swisher.
No, their pitcher.
Oh, Brett Myers.
Ubaldo Jimenez, their their starter.
Got there
Yeah.
in the end.
if if he pitches like he did in 2010, they will get to the postseason. They need another pitcher, pretty much.
They need another pitcher because their rotation is old and it's kind of tired and tested. And you know what you're going to get with the Cleveland rotation. That's one good thing about Kansas City. They've got some good players in there. They've got Shields and what have you. Their pitching's on par, but they can't get it always done with a bat though. Cannot fault Billy Butler at all this season.
If Eric Hosmer stays hot, the Kansas City has a chance. But it all revolves around Hosmer and Moustakas for that Kansas City attempt.
If Kansas City still had Melky Cabrera, they would be up there.
Yeah.
But those kind of things change. So are we both agreeing for Detroit?
Hmm.
There we go. So Detroit is going to take the Central. And now for the AL West. What do you think about
I think it's gonna be Astros all the way. What do you think?
that? Yeah, I'm seeing the Angels getting up there.
Angels? Oh yeah,
To be
they're
f-
on- they're
no, go on.
they're in fourth. I didn't know the Mariners were ahead of
No, exactly. That's what's embarrassing. The Cubs are nearly overtaking them.
them. To be realistic though, Oakland's half game out when I'm recording this. I like the overall feeling that Oakland gives. I think Texas, there's too many loose ends. I don't think they have enough power from the left side. So I'm going to go with Oakland winning by a game.
That is a bold, excuse me, that is a bold call, I'll admit, because obviously Texas have now got a very strong rotation. Yu Darvish is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then acquiring Garza, that is going to help them. Well, it has helped them already a serious amount.
Hmm.
So, Texas have already got a strong squad, and we cannot deny that they've got a strong squad, and they've been making the playoffs, for like the past 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
So they're obviously doing something right. But Oakland are, as I mentioned before, they can be the hot team.
Hmm.
You know,
If they get hot in September, which they did last year, you got to
exactly.
watch out for
Last
these
year
guys.
it was the tightest. Angels were up there, Texas and A's just fighting it out, and it was so exciting to see the games. And you knew how tense it was when LA played Oakland, and then when
Hmm.
Texas played Oakland, and then Texas LA. That was some of the best baseball I think I've ever seen.
Oakland sweeping Texas to win the division.
Yeah, exactly. Them walk-offs,
Hmm.
that is the beauty of being the hot team, and the Angels just haven't had it this season.
Yeah, a lot of people forget Oakland was one game away from eliminating the Tigers from the postseason last year.
Wow.
A lot of people forget that they were one game away.
So I can definitely see Oakland doing it again. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and say Oakland as well.
Oh, I convinced you.
Yeah. When you look at it and you think if they can get on a hot streak, but only if they get on a hot streak, only if they come
Yeah.
back with all these walk-offs again, because Texas aren't going to change. Texas are going to keep doing what they do, and
Well,
oh
let me say this much. I think both teams are going to make it into the playoffs. I don't think there's any doubt from that.
yeah, there is a
I'm
strong
just saying.
potential there.
I'm just saying Oakland's probably going to win the division,
Yeah,
but I think
cool.
both will be there.
Yeah, definitely. But so we both agree on Oakland for this one as well.
Wow, we are. Might as well be the same person.
We might as well. So we move ahead now and we go to the National League East. This one I don't think is going to be contended at all.
What are you talking about? 15 and a half games means nothing anymore.
Miami's 28 behind.
This has just been
Oh,
sad. I
22, sorry.
coming into this year, I thought the Nationals and Braves that was going to be really fun. If the Phillies could have stayed around, that would have been a three-team. But Atlanta got hot, and Washington's main issue is they can't beat Atlanta. Like,
Atlanta's just got such a strong team. There is no point in arguing with that.
and the only way Washington was going to contend is if they actually had hitting. And without Bryce Harper for half the season when he's gotten hurt,
Bryce
they've been
Harper is the Nationals.
yeah. And their starting pitching's failed them at sometimes. So I mean, the only issue I saw with Atlanta in the beginning, they had a lot of strikeout hitters. Like they had a lot of guys who were going to hit low averages, hit some home runs, but really low, a lot of strikeouts. But
I
hasn't hurt
believe,
them
was
so
it
far.
BJ or Justin that had like the most strikeouts in the National League?
BJ.
BJ. So, I mean, you can't. Obviously, he's got a lot of home runs, but like you say, you don't want those low averages because they was putting. Did they put BJ or Justin at cleanup? I can't remember.
Um, Probably Justin.
And
Probably.
and he was also striking out, and you're leaving like
Hmm.
two men on, and you can't be doing that.
Yeah, strikeouts the worst. It's like next to a ground double play,
Yeah,
strikeouts are the least productive thing in the game.
yeah, and it really knocks your confidence for the next at bat.
Hmm.
But I'm
But
going with Atlanta, 100%. There is no way.
there's, I mean, Atlanta would have to go like 1-30, and then for Washington to even make a chance, because all Washington does is win one, lose two, and it's hard to watch. Really, if if I had to choose a National League team, it would be the Nationals, but it's been hard to watch this year.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we're both agreed on the Braves for that one. The Miami are
No
not going
doubt.
to get hot enough to come back, I don't think. So,
All right, NL Central. Here's the fun division. This is you got 2 teams in the cellar and then 3 teams that all can easily win the division.
yeah, without a
Who do you
doubt,
got?
it's going to be so close. Pittsburgh are looking really good, and it's kind of nice to see Pittsburgh doing well. I don't hate Pittsburgh, but I don't follow them, that much. I'd just rather not the Cardinals win it more than anything. But you can't count out the Reds. Reds have always got a good squad. Joey Votto is an unbelievable first baseman. What a leader that guy is, and that is something that I believe the St. Louis doesn't have. They don't have a strong leader. Yadier Molina probably the closest thing, but St. Louis is a team of big names. Jay,
They have a lot of
Carpenter.
role players. They got Alan Craig, Molina, and Matt Holliday. There's ever since Pujols has gone. I see your point. They don't have that guy. They
Yeah,
don't have. He comes to the plate. Everyone on the other side of the field gets scared.
the closest thing I'd say they've got is David Freese, but like I say, it's a team of big names, and that I think is kind of tracking back to the American League. That's the problem that the Angels have is you've got big names there: Trumbo, Pujols, yeah, Trout,
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Yeah, these players are all big names. There's no one that stands out.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that St. Louis kind of lack, and that's why I'm probably going to go with maybe if the Reds can get on a hot streak, I could see the Reds doing it.
Reds. They've been in third place, I'd say, most of the year.
True, but like,
But they're in striking distance. I
hmm
will say that much.
so
They've
it's
been in
more than
striking
likely going to be
distance.
Pittsburgh, but I'd like to not just pick who's on top at the moment, and I'm going to go for the Reds.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna say. I'd say 3/5 of this season, St. Louis has been the best team in baseball. Uh, Recently, it's been Pittsburgh getting hot, and St. Louis got a little cold since Molina went to the DL.
Hmm
But Molina's coming back. I like Wainwright. I like the Cardinals rotation. Shelby Miller is a great young pitcher. I have to go with St. Louis winning it.
That would be the sensible option.
I I just don't believe in Pittsburgh. Like, I know what they've done is good. Just I look at that roster and I can't believe that they're 72-49.
Alvarez just
Like,
has too many errors, and they seem to rely on McCutcheon quite a lot. But McCutcheon is that face that I was saying earlier. They've got a leader there.
mhm.
Yeah, something good
And
for them.
it's just they got. I mean, I don't know their schedule off the top of my head, so I don't know for sure. If they start to get if their rotation gets hurt in any way, if they lose one piece of that rotation, this team could really collapse near the end.
Yeah, they really could.
Mhm. But they'll have a winning season for the first time, and
Oh, for sure.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're gonna go like positive.
Yeah, they might get to. They're on track for about 90 wins. I just don't see them getting to that mark.
As long as the Cubs don't come bottom, I'm happy. you know, we've just lost too many players. I don't think the Cubs are going to be doing anything anytime
Yeah,
soon.
thanks for giving away Soriano. Real great.
I didn't want to. I was disappointed with that move. Um,
And
Garza
at
was
least
bad
get
enough.
something back for him.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem is with just getting prospects or just younger players. You're not going to see them yet. They're not going to shine. You have to give them 1 or 2 seasons. So that just makes everything go slower.
I do like Anthony Rizzo. I
Rizzo
like
is
his.
fantastic. Rizzo could be one of the best first basemen in baseball
Mhm.
if he's got to practice on his swing more, and his fielding's not
Yeah,
bad.
a little more
Castro and
consistent.
Rizzo are just going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe the Cubs are going to go out and get Ellsbury in free agency.
Yeah, there's not massive names going into the FA this year, but I think
We
Cubs
might
will.
have to make a video on that.
That could make a video on that. We'll see who goes in and see who gets
Yeah,
picked up.
I can't wait to see the money Cano gets. That's going to be.
Anyway,
Sorry,
the next one.
I'm sidetracking.
Yeah, yeah, we digress. So the National League West. This one is kind of a toughie. It's an odd one this year.
It's definitely odd. I think. I mean, it's always odd when you see the last year World Series winners fighting to stay out of last place.
Hmm
So I think Giants, you're done. I don't think the Rockies have enough rotation, so it looks like just Dodgers and Arizona. And I, I mean, I was rooting for Arizona But I can't go against a team that's gone 41-8 in their last 49 games. So I have to go with Dodgers. They have too many good games, too many big names, and they're hot right now, and they've been hot for a month and a half.
Yeah, I can't deny Dodgers. They're gonna be my choice, but it would be so good to see, Arizona actually turn it round and do it. They've had some really good players this year that have really stood out. Cody Ross has been so well. Hill, Delgado, Goldschmidt,
Goldschmidt, they're making a
unbelievable players, really are.
he's making a case for MVP.
Yeah,
Like
he could be definitely an MVP contender, and they took Tony Campana from the Cubs.
is he our choice? Find out in 5 minutes.
I mean, the Rockies started good this season. Couple of injuries, a bit of a problem.
Yeah, once they lost Cargo and Tula for different times, I knew that they were going to struggle.
Yeah, they were going to struggle, and when you've got people like, is it Bettis at the lower end of the rotation? He's just not good enough.
Yeah.
He just really isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
In the long term.
So,
Hmm?
my bad, my bad.
Oh yeah, hello.
I dropped my mic.
All right, no worries. I was like, hello. Anyway, yeah. So we're both agreed on Dodgers for that one as well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So what was the next one we was
Um,
talking about? I'll have to bring up the list
wild
again.
card.
Wild card. Oh yes. So I will bring up this little button thing.
This is going to be like a 3-hour video.
Potentially. So in American League, we've got Boston, Detroit, and Texas already going through. Tampa, Oakland, and Baltimore and Cleveland are within the top four. So that is going to be a toughie.
I'll take the lead on this one. I'm going to say that Tampa has game up on them. I want to make a bold prediction and say the 2 wild cards from the AL will be Baltimore with the second wild card and Oakland with the first.
I was going to go for something similar, but I would love to see Cleveland do it. I don't think that warrants me just saying that I'd like to.
Oh wait, sorry, did I say Texas with the first? My bad.
All right.
I just realized that. But same concept.
I'm going to
Sorry.
say Baltimore and Oakland. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. Be good to see because Baltimore, Chris Davis, man, if you've got him on your team, you load the bases once and he'll come on and he will clean up.
Mm-hmm.
And with
I find it interesting. Both of us don't believe in the Rays. Both of us.
yeah, that's twice we've counted them out.
I count them out because I'm a Red Sox fan. Why do you?
I don't know. I just think they rely too much on Longoria, and if any of their pitchers get injured, they do rely heavily on strong pitching.
You saw what happened when Matt Moore went down. They lost 6 straight.
Yeah, and if you go ahead and if they lost their Price as well again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's bad news for Tampa. So realistically, they probably would win it, but that means this is like 0 injuries.
Yeah, Longoria and Myers have to stay healthy.
Yeah. So I think that's the only reason I would, but I'm going to still go with Oakland and Baltimore for that one. We scroll down and then look at the National League. So currently, the division leaders: Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and LA. And once again, a very close wildcard race.
Yep. I'll go first again. I said the Cardinals are going to win the NL Central. So with the first wild card, I'm going to say the Reds take that, and the second wild card, I'm going to say the Diamondbacks are able to slip in there.
I think that is probably exactly the right one to say. We mentioned before about the Nationals. If they can stay injury free, they could potentially pull that one back, but being 9.5 games behind.
They're too inconsistent. They can't. They need a 10-game winning streak, really.
Yeah, and they need to stop. Well, they need to bring someone else in to stop putting so much pressure on Harper, who at the end of the day, 20 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cincy and Arizona for the wild cards.
So once again, we leave out Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we leave out Pittsburgh. Yes, no one cares. Anyway, what was the next one? Oh yeah, we changed it round. So the next topic that we was going to cover was the Cy Young Award. Go ahead and let you go first.
All right, sorry for just taking it. It's I don't want to say it's a no-brainer for me, but it just kind of is. I think it's Kershaw for the NL and it's going to be Scherzer for the AL just because 17 wins. I assume he'll get to 20. And when someone gets a 20-game winner, it's hard to bet against them.
It really is. It really is. I mean, I'll go ahead and I will agree with the Kershaw because he's done so well. He really has done so well, and you know.
The only person to compete with Kershaw is Harvey, but there's been rumors that he's going to get shut down. So you can't be a Cy Young if you get shut down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we've both just listed names, and yet Matt Harvey's on all these stats that I'm looking at now.
Mm-hmm.
So's Aaron Hernandez, but I don't. Sorry, Felix Hernandez. Sorry,
Oh,
I don't think.
I was like, who the
I know. I don't think. I don't think the
guy
King
was in jail?
will come back enough. There's not enough time really for him to keep it up. In terms of strikeouts, he's on 178. He's in fourth place, whereas Darvish, who would be my AL choice,
Mm-hmm.
Darvish is definitely my AL with Kershaw for the NL.
Yeah,
Darvish has
I
just
mean,
been too strong, man.
he's I don't have an issue with Darvish. It's one of the two really. I don't really see there being that
Yeah,
dark horse coming out of nowhere.
yeah, it's tough, but it all once again depends on like kind of what run support Darvish can get, because otherwise, if his ERA starts going up, he can get
Mm-hmm.
as many strikeouts as he wants, but he can give up a ton of runs in the going anyway.
Yeah.
So all depends really, but yeah, I think that those are my two choices. And then the next one we had were MVP choices or predictions.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, fair enough. Cabrera doing it last season, that is obviously the big factor, and he's still going in hot. He's leading in ribbies, ERA, uh, average. Wow, still on the Cy Young. Yeah, Cabrera is definitely looking like it for the AL, but that all really depends on the rest of the Tigers squad. Once again, they've got a leader, but if anything starts to go downhill for them, I can see
Yeah,
Cabrera struggling, and then his stats will start to go down. So I don't know. The obvious choice would be to say Cabrera, but I would like to actually say Trout.
Trout. Yeah, the guy got ripped off last year.
Yeah, he's a good, like he can easily be a 40 for 40 kind of player, really, if he just
Mm-hmm.
concentrated a bit more on his hitting. He's
Yeah.
lacking in the home runs, but he could easily. Well, I believe he has been. What was it, 30 to 30? He was a couple of years ago.
Uh, yeah. Something like that.
So yeah, I think personally, just for the AL, I would like to say someone other than Cabrera. So it'd probably be Trout, if not Chris Davis, but probably Trout.
For me, I can't go up against Cabrera. The guy's proven time and time again he's the best player, best hitter on the planet. I don't think anyone can compete against that. I mean, Triple Crown kind of
Yeah.
shows something there. And if he can catch up in home runs, he's got the other two. He got average and RBI in the bag, so
Mhm.
it's close. And I'm gonna say I gotta go Cabrera. I can't. I just can't bet against
Yeah, that's the problem.
him. It's hard to bet against a guy who's been that consistent.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most consistent players in the last like 3 years. So what about NL?
I'm taking a different route than some. I'm gonna go with the St. Louis Cardinals catcher Yadier Molina, who has been injured a little bit, but just almost the way he's been able to kind of lead this team. You can see when he goes down, the team kind of hits a rough patch, and just it's not just his hitting, which has been great. He's been clutch when they need to be. I
Hmm.
think a big stat. He's only struck out 37 times this year
Hmm.
for a everyday player. That's really good, and um, he doesn't have the power, but I think just the way that he calls games for pitchers, the way you can see how the Cardinals young pitchers rely on him and trust him, and I think he's been overlooked for years, and the running game against him is silent because he'll throw out anyone. I just think he's the dark horse that can easily be chosen.
Yeah, I think the problem with Yadier Molina is he's always kind of been in the shadow of Buster Posey. Buster Posey's taken all the limelight just
Mm-hmm.
because he's so young. But then again, you have to actually look at the big picture and go, you know what, Yadier Molina is an absolute, rock in the St. Louis Cardinals team.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it'd
I
be
think a big
Go on.
I think a big thing in baseball too is consistency, and that's what Molina is really.
Hmm.
He's one of the most consistent players.
Yeah, you know what you're going to get each time.
Yeah,
For my NL, I would actually really like to say Goldschmidt, but that depends on the rest of Arizona if they can compete and get into the
yeah,
playoffs. If they don't get into the playoffs, there's no way he's going to get chosen. But if they can get into the playoffs, then I think Goldie is a nice choice. If not, it would be so awesome to say Puig.
yeah.
It really
But
would.
he hasn't been up long enough.
Yeah, true. If it had started, earlier in the season, then it'd have been pretty awesome. But sadly not. So I think I'm gonna have to go with Goldie on this one for the NL.
All right.
So yeah.
Before we move forward, I just have one question.
Mhm.
Do you think that the way Verlander won the MVP in 2011, could Kershaw win it this year?
Hmm.
Could Kershaw win the MVP? Because I'm looking at his ERA of 1.88,
That is so
and
low.
just thinking to myself, that's extremely low.
I
Uh,
think he could, but only if it same kind of reason as Goldschmidt. It depends how far the Dodgers go.
they're looking pretty good right now.
They're looking pretty good. If they go ahead and win it, then definitely that is potential.
It's a possibility. I think Molina deserves it more, but
Yeah.
this era likes to give pitchers credit for MVPs.
Yeah, because it's nice and rare. You don't get to see it too often.
Yeah. So World Series.
The next were our World Series predictions. Now, this could spark a lot of controversy. Um, but yeah, World Series predictions. What are you thinking for that one?
Uh, hmm. Haven't really gone through this in my head yet. So I'm gonna say that it's going to not be Atlanta. And my only case for that is Atlanta is going to go into the playoffs not really fighting for anything. They already have their division. They don't have to worry about anything. And that intensity won't be there yet. While other teams that are playing, like the NL Central, they're playing every night because every game counts. To where Atlanta, they have a 15.5 game lead, doesn't really bother them. So I don't think they're going to be able to get into the right mindset quick enough.
Hmm.
So I'm counting out Atlanta. Um, I think the Reds. I said the Reds and Diamondbacks are gonna get that wild card game. I'm gonna say the Reds win that game, and I'm gonna say St. Louis wins the World Series.
St. Louis to win
No,
the World.
sorry, not World Series. St. Louis wins NLCS,
Uh
so they get there. Okay, I'm so
huh.
tired. And then I said it last year. I'm saying it again. I say Oakland rides their hot streak to a playoff appearance. They win the ALCS. That makes for an Oakland St. Louis World Series. Oakland wins in 6.
Hmm. Now that is a toughie. But I like your
Home,
choice. I like that. Like,
remember, home field advantage is with the AL this year.
yeah, you haven't just gone ahead and said, Detroit versus Pittsburgh. Or something. You've got a good strategy behind that. I think if Baltimore get the wild card playoff, I think they'll be going in insanely hot because over the last couple of years, Baltimore's actually like come back onto the map, and the fans are getting behind them. Like Camden Yards used to be empty.
Camden Yards used to be filled with Red Sox and Yankees fans.
So it'll be so awesome to get the crowd behind them, and they will go in absolutely red hot. And everyone will be fighting. Manny Machado is what a fantastic play. You've got him, Machado and Davis. Got a good squad there. Feldman's pitching well.
It's all going to come down to the pitching for sure.
It really is. It's going to be so tough. But I think Baltimore, if they can get in there, they will definitely be contenders. As same with the Reds. I think if they get in there, they'll be contenders. But I think realistically, in the long run, I am going to go with Boston versus LA for the World Series, and
That would be so perfect after that trade last year.
and LA will win it.
Oh, I hate you.
I just cannot see that if the Dodgers are already so hot, and there's only going to get even hotter if they carry on the way they are. So if they go into the World Series, they're still going to be like molten lava kind of hot.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if the Red Sox can deal with that kind of pressure after last year.
Hey, I like getting to the World Series. I like that idea. So
I can definitely see him there, 100%.
I continue for getting us there.
I just don't know if Detroit I've always been like just kind of I don't know, I can't describe it. Um,
Detroit doesn't have that playoff
yeah, they don't have, and that's
presence.
the same with Texas. They always get to like the World Series final. It's just like, that's it, that's as far as we're going now. So yeah, I think the Dodgers definitely have that kind of spark to get through. If not, the Reds can definitely be contenders, but that depends on them getting the wild card in the first place. So yeah, I'm going to say Boston versus LA.
Now, there's a very interesting thing which I don't think plays a factor at all. But I figured at the All Star game this year, I was thinking about it, and the team that has the home field advantage has now won, I believe, 4 straight World Series, like that league,
Hmm.
because the NL won it 3 straight years, and in those 3 years, we saw the Giants, Cardinals, and Giants again. 2009, the AL won it. The Yankees won that year.
Hmm.
And 2008, AL won it. AL won the All Star game, and that was the Phillies. So that was the last time. But I just found it interesting that uh, the team that has the home field advantage has won it the last 4 years. So
Yeah.
I think the AL has a huge advantage.
I mean, I remember seeing,
But
the Cardinals versus the Rangers, and when they were at Busch Stadium, and the crowd was insane.
that was a really fun World Series. Last year's World Series sucked. 4 games, no intensity at all. It's just,
Yeah, it was a walk in the park.
yeah,
Sergio Romo didn't even have to close it.
I know.
Like, yeah,
Could have chosen a fan coming
yeah. Oh, go
close
on
it
then.
out.
You throw a strike for me. Well, I think
But
that pretty much wraps this up, doesn't it?
yeah,
Anything
I think
else
we
left
made
to
it long
cover?
enough.
I can't remember.
Let's see. We've done this for about 40 minutes, so let's see if we can make it an hour. See if we can rant on longer.
Yeah. What about random World Series predictions?
Uh, Braves, Rays.
Braves, Rays. I'd go with Toronto,
Oh yeah.
Mets
Oh, Matt Harvey pitching Game 7. That'll be stellar.
versus, is it Burley that pitches the
For
bottom
yeah,
end? Yeah.
take
Burley
a break.
versus Harvey. That'd be funny. But
Well,
anyway,
I
yeah,
think
I think this pretty much wraps it up.
if anyone's still watching, man, you have a long attention span.
You really do.
Congratulations.
You really do. Well,
If
anyway,
you like it,
what,
do more stuff together.
yeah, we do, man, we do. So this is MVP Sports Gaming. I am with his channel will be in the description. He does loads of cool videos. I really enjoy them. So make sure you go ahead and check him out. As always, I have been Tezadude. Anything else to say, dude?
Nah, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. There you go. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, dudes. I love you all. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye. Oh, and one thing. Go ahead and make sure to leave your own predictions to everything that we've covered.
And say how wrong we are.
Yeah, exactly. I reckon everyone will probably disagree with us. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, dudes. Love you all.